Hello, this is Lindsay and welcome back to my channel. So I have some tips for you today on how to run and administrate a drama-free Facebook group, especially in the crafting community. I am outside today. It is beautiful and I'm watching my boys play, so there may be interruptions or things, but that is okay. That is life. So I have seen so much drama and pettiness going around on a lot of Facebook groups on in the crafting community, so much drama and talking about crafting spies and talking about people stealing people's ideas and people getting upset and group administrators going around to other group administrators, and it's crazy. And I understand the drama because I used to help admin a crafting group a few years ago where there was non-stop drama. However, since I've started my own Facebook group, I've had literally zero drama. Zero. I've had a couple of very minor situations that were taken care of, no problem. And I just think that I discovered a few things along the way since I went from drama group to zero drama group. And I thought I would help you because no one needs drama. It helps no one. So here's just a few tips and a few things I've learned. They may or may not work for you, but they work for me, and I just thought I'd share. So tip number one is to be the only admin and to not have any mods. Now, I know that sounds like a lot. This is just what I do. I understand it might not work for every Facebook group, but I made a decision that I was going to be the only administrator and I was not going to have any mods. As soon as you have multiple people coming up with different ideas and there's power struggles and everything else, I just didn't want to deal with that. I make the final decision. Everything is me. And I'm fine with that. So that might seem like too much work and like you would need admins and mods. And perhaps if you got a group that had tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people, you would need additional mods and admins and things like that, and you could put something in place. But just for your average basic Facebook group, that's a few thousand people, several hundred to a few thousand people at least, you really only need one admin. And number two, my second tip is don't worry about seeing every single post. Don't worry about every single post. We are all adults here. We are not in charge of a group for children. We should not have to shield each other, if that makes sense. For example, someone posted something in my group at one point that was a journal that they had purchased on Amazon. It had some bad words on it. I really don't care. We are all adults. If we really stop to think about it, how many TV shows do we watch that have bad words in it? How many movies do we watch that have bad words? How many coworkers have bad words? Family members say bad words. I'm not advocating foul language at all, but I am saying I don't think it is necessarily fair for us to act like we've never heard those words before and that we can't handle seeing one when we're on the internet. So, to me, it's just like, I really don't care. Obviously, I don't want porn posted on my site. I don't want horrible content, things that would be against Facebook's policy anyway, and that would be removed and reported, obviously. And if something slips through, it slips through. That's life. We're adults. We're on the internet. There is a certain inherent risk of being on the internet that I think we've forgotten. And my group is not meant to be a safe haven from all things evil. It's meant to be a crafting community. Just like if you were to go into Hobby Lobby and you're walking along the scrapbooking section and looking for things to put in your journal, and then a mom walks by screaming and cussing at her kid. I mean, that's going to happen. You're going to see things or hear things in life. So I just don't worry about every post. And if, so I guess tip number three, I'm not really going to count them all, but if you see something that is truly offensive, then just tag me. Say, Lindsay Zenor, tag it. Have you seen this? Or tag your mod and just move on. Like, don't just keep scrolling. Don't worry about it. If you are the admin, you don't need to message the person and how dare you, and this is you don't need to do that. All you have to do is remove the post. If it is bad enough, block the member. They don't need to know you blocked them. You don't need to know why. We don't need to get into all this drama. Life is so short, that we do not need to get into all of this. I think that's just another really great tip for running a drama and stress-free Facebook group. Also, really limit the type of events and swaps and things like that. If people want to ask for swaps or whatever, let them. If you want to set up one, go ahead. But I would really put a disclaimer on it that just saying, you all are adults. If somebody doesn't follow through, it's not my responsibility. Don't come whining to me. We don't need to be all up in arms about this. If we are going to swap with a stranger on the internet, really, we should not be surprised if it doesn't work out to our advantage. Now, I've participated in many swaps. Most of them have been perfect and wonderful. And I know other people have had really bad experiences. But if you're going to be trusting another person you've never met, and that you've never swapped with before, it's kind of dangerous. So I'm not saying don't be involved in it. I'm just saying, as an admin running my Facebook group, I don't want to get into the drama and trying to track down people who didn't send their things and removing people and listening to excuses. Everybody always has an excuse. Whether it is valid or whether it's made up, you can't know. So I stay away from that, and I suggest that you do as well. I do encourage, trading, bartering, swapping, all that kind of stuff. I encourage that. But on the other hand, it needs to all be done outside of the administration. Like, it's between two people. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's not the admin's fault. Another thing that I do that I think is extremely helpful is to have limited rules. Meaning, I really only have one rule, and that is be respectful and kind. And so if somebody is going to be really belligerent towards someone else or posting things that are extremely harmful, then that person will just be removed. No drama. We don't need to get into arguing matches and yelling matches and gossiping and all that kind of stuff. We can move on. I really think that would be helpful for all of us to remember that. That's my only rule. There are so many groups that have rules. Don't post selling links. Don't post... they get so picky that you can't post selling links like to Amazon or to Hobby Lobby or to, hey, I found this other Etsy shop or their own Etsy shop. Or to me, what's the purpose of a group if you can't share what you know? I don't see why self-promotion is such a bad thing. If they want to post something that they've made and that they want somebody to buy, that is totally fine with me. So I don't police my group. I think that the bigger heart that we have, the more people we try to help, the more that we try to include and that we try to help other people be successful, the more successful that we will be. I think the more closed off we get, the more dramatic we get, the grumpier we get, the more cliquish we get, the faster our fire and our flame will go out for what we do. When we're trying to share art and therapy and all of that with the world, like art journaling and the creative therapy process and making things and sharing things, I think it is extremely important to just be open and to be open-minded toward other people. And I just don't think that we should be such a closed-off community that I do not, and I'm going to be totally honest with all of you because I'm trying to help those of you who have small Facebook groups that don't want to get in, or you're thinking of starting a Facebook group, but you do not want to get involved in the drama. I don't think we should become so closed off that people don't know if it's okay to post in the group. I hate it, and it makes me so sad when people post in my group and say, oh, I don't know if I can post this here. And it's like, yes, of course you can post this here. I honestly do not post my work in other people's groups for the vast majority anymore because I don't know what's okay and not okay. It is so easy to offend people. It's like, this group you can only post these things and this things and this group and these things. And I think that I think it should be more open and more free and not so cliquish and inclusive. So that's another tip I have for you if you have a Facebook group, is to encourage and to promote other people. It's not going to take away from you because I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't really make logical sense. It has something to do with trust and the heart. And I just think that's really, really important when you are having groups like this. Let's let's think about it this way. If you had a friend, and let's say that this friend owned a grocery store, or they managed a grocery store, and a small little grocery store, and they got upset if you shopped anywhere else, because you're supposed to be their friend and support them, and they would not allow anyone, you know, like if you went to another store or suggested another store or whatever, they wouldn't tell you of any other sale anywhere else because it was all about them in the sale for their store. What kind of a friend would that be? Wouldn't you want to say, hey, if you can't get it here, then why don't you go down the street over there, because I bet you can get it over there. And I've been doing this for a little while now, and I've been sharing other shops. It has never hurt me. And something that I've started to do recently is if somebody comes to me, because I have a bigger channel than some of the people that I try to help and support. If somebody comes to me wanting a custom journal or wanting to know if I can make a certain journal and it's not a good fit or I'm too busy or whatever, I used to try to take it on anyway and have this huge workload and be super stressed out. Something I've started doing in the last couple of weeks is to refer them to someone else that I know who I know would love to make the journal and could use the income, and to just say, hey, here's the link, contact so-and-so, tell them I sent you, see if they can make it for you. If they can't, come back to me, I'll see what I can do. And I really think that that kind of love, that kind of caring, that kind of opening up the community to say, hey, you've joined this community. We're all here to help each other. I used to think there was only so much crafting money to go around, like people would run out of craft money and they wouldn't buy my things. But what I've realized is that's not really the case. The world is immense and the internet is immense, and there are so many people out there that will buy from you and repeatedly buy from you. I have had almost 2 full, very successful years on Etsy, and I'm continuing to grow. And the more I share, the more I grow, the more I develop relationships, and I can contact people and say, hey, I need this. Where do I find it? Can you hook me up? Can you sponsor a video? Can we work together? Can we do a collab? Things like that. And it just really helps. So if you're trying to admin a Facebook group, then I just suggest that you just embrace that community. You stop looking at me, stop looking at yourself, or sometimes I feel it in myself too. I'll see a comment or someone will say something and I'll go, oh wait, and then I get like offended, and then I'm like, no, I don't want to be that way. And I look at it through another set of glasses. I see what that person intended, and I try to turn it around and not be that type of a person. So I really challenge all of you to do that as well. Let's just believe the best, brush off the offenses, be inclusive, drama-free. Don't let people, dictate to you what you can and can't do. Do your own thing. Reach out. Become the best you that you can be. The more you try to nitpick and get into the drama, the more likely you are to quit, the more likely you are to burn out, the more likely you are to put a bad taste in other people's mouths so they will not come back. They will leave your group. They will unsubscribe to your channel. They'll quit shopping from you. And at the end of the day, it should be about people, not about money. It's a lesson that I'm still learning. It's a lesson we all learn together. And I just thought maybe a couple of these tips would help you if you're trying to admin a Facebook group in the crafting community. So if you liked this video, if it had anything that helped you or anything that sparked just a little bit of sisterhood or understanding, would you give this video a thumbs up? Hit subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. I'll see all of you in the next video. I love each and every one of you. Let's work together to build a community people want to be a part of, not a community that people run from because they've been burned. So if you'll join me, we can build this community together, one step at a time, one smile at a time, one share at a time, one friend at a time.